Welcome to the second podcast, Job Discovery. We meet today with Philippe Bastide, CEO and founder of Dianosic. Today, we will talk about the creation and its activity within the Dianosic company. So, Philippe, could you explain how Dianosic project started?
Sure. Good morning, Marie, and good morning, everyone. Happy to be part of this podcast series. Thank you again, Marie. So first question is, how did the Dianosic project start? It was actually very simple. Marc, one of the co-founders, met Professor Christian Debris, head of the ENT department at the Strasbourg University Hospital, and he ended up being operated for his sinusitis by Professor Debris, whom had ideas about products to launch. And then soon after that, I got contacted by both Christian Debris and Marc, and that's how the story started. So in summary, Professor Christian Debris was the common denominator in the creation of Dianosic.
Great. And regarding your job, could you explain your most important activities as a CEO?
Sure. I think we can divide into three main parts. The first part, which is kind of obvious for the audience, will be sort of running day-to-day operations from the company. So it's a pot in which you can put many things that we do on a daily basis. Then there is a second activity that is critical, which is the definition of the strategic roadmap. So we discuss a lot about strategy, about what we want to do for this company in the long run. And third, we basically run a lot after investors. So that's something that is keeping us busy. And we do that on a very, very regular basis.
Thank you, Philippe, for this clear definition of your activities within Dianosic. And in your opinion, what are the main qualities and skills required to do these activities and to become a startup CEO?
Well, I think there are multiple qualities and skills that you need to have. But if I try to kind of rank a few of those, I would say that being tenacious is a must-have. You should never give up in front of difficulties, and rest assured that you will face some difficulties along the way. Second, which is definitely linked with the first one, is optimism. So when you face complex situations, you could be depressed. That's kind of normal, but you always need to be positive and find solutions and find quick solutions to resolve those issues. And third, especially for those coming from large corporations and willing to, let's say, change life, you need to be ready to accept an initial drop in salary. Again, that may sound kind of obvious to many of you, but that's important, because if you are not ready to make that initial sacrifice, you will struggle to run your startup business.
Great, thank you, Philippe, for this positive overview. And regarding Dianosic, what's your ambition for the startup?
We have multiple ambitions, but if we try to think broad, I believe that one of the key objectives that we have is to make the company a reference player in the field of otorhinolaryngology. And more specifically, we want to be a leader in resorbable drug-eluting solutions for debilitating diseases such as chronic rhinitis, chronic rhinosinusitis, and also hearing loss. There are clearly a potential in multiple verticals in the field of ENT for Dianosic. And clearly the targeted intranasal administration of various drugs has the potential to be a game changing approach in those various areas.
Nice. It's a strong, ambitious future for Dianosic. And for our auditors online, could you give us 3 tips you would like to share with people willing to launch a medical startup?
Sure. I think this question basically ties into the previous question regarding the qualities and skills required to become a CEO of a startup. One quality or one tip, that is essential is the resilience and tenacity. So never give up. It's a schizophrenic job. You can be super happy on Monday, depressed on Tuesday, and so you have to cope with that and be able to continue the journey. That's key. Second tip: always be able to pivot. Don't stick to a plan at all costs if at some point you realize it doesn't work. The most successful startups are able to change and pivot. They evolve constantly. And third, which is absolutely critical, you need to bring talented people on board to move your project fast. So in other words, you should basically hire people that are more clever than yourself in multiple areas. That's absolutely a must-have.
Thank you again, Philippe, for this interview. You gave an encouraging speech and a positive overview of your CEO activity. Hopefully, it will help for some who are listening. So we will meet again for the podcast number 3 of this job discovery session. So stay tuned.